It's 2026 right now. Most of the people you do know in your life, in your waking life, your work life, your relationships, family life, most of them, these guys are part of the heathen class. Most of the people you know in your life, the overwhelming majority of them are SS ranked heathen. I'm gonna talk about it right now in this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it right now. So I've been thinking a lot. Naturally, I'm always thinking. Especially with this past week, I've just been going to work, coming back, being a little creative, writing ideas down, filming some videos, asking questions, getting involved with people, and so on and so forth. And I've noticed there's been a lot of people, maybe because of the weather, but generally people are like this, where they're pretty slow. They're not very excited about a lot of things. They usually talk about the same things over and over in very, very cyclical, closed loop fashion. And it made me realize a lot about the nature of individuals. Of course, we have our biological imperatives to reproduce and take care of families, right? A lot of us in this day and age are really not even doing the latter end, which are the taking care of the families part. People are just excited about the making babies or the process in which to make babies, which is the whole fornication thing. I realized that a lot of people in life, not just Americans, not just people from Western Europe, a lot of people are just interested in amassing wealth, amassing power, some semblance of it even, in their jobs, in their friendship, social functions. They are interested in amassing power and wealth only to be a consumer ultimately, which is heathen. I'm gonna break this all down, right? There are creators in the world. There are not a lot of them. They're definitely less than 1%, for sure. And we always try to have this comparison of powerful and the not so powerful, or the leaders versus the followers, and how leaders only make up 1% of the population. But this statistic that I've deduced, it really comes from years and years of observation. Creators are individuals that are not afraid really to stand alone, and not on some, woe is me, I'm going to try to solve all issues on my own and I'm going to be independent. And the issues, by the way, are just, should I sleep with this person or should I not sleep with this person? Or should I give this person a chance or should I not give this person a chance? Or should I work for someone else or should I work for this more known evil? They're not really in mental existential crises or conundrums with the self based on some very powerful thoughts. Like, I don't know about using my podium on social media to exacerbate and perpetuate the gender war, right? As a male or as a female, versus creating actual unique content that will allow me to speak to a niche population and perhaps give them a little bit of enlightenment and an insight into things that they otherwise wouldn't be seeing. They're not having thoughts like that. They're having all of these low-end thoughts. They scroll on social media. These people are overweight. And by the way, I've been looking, there's a website that I've been using recently just to look at a lot of the stats and data about various facets of societies. I'm using World Population Review. And apparently there's a lot of people that are overweight in the world, and the number is just growing. That means we have more and more gyms, right? We have all these sophisticated gyms now. I remember when I was in Bulgaria, there was the Pulse Fitness. It was I kid you not, 5-6-story building of just gym equipment with various classes, Olympic sized pools, various saunas, and all of this type of stuff. It was my dream, by the way. I went in there. I was only in Bulgaria for 8 days. I went there for 2 days, 3 days. I went in the Pulse Fitness, and it was affordable. We have all of these gyms everywhere, and people decide to still stay within the S-ranked heathen class. I'm telling you, the world, they're all heathen. They're not interested in semen retention. They're not interested in sexual continence. That is not to say, listen, that's a very, very niche aspect and facet of the human experience. And we know there's been a lot of jokes and memes recently in the last couple of years. No Nut November, no fap, semen retention even. Semen retention is not as mainstream as the aforementioned too, but this idea of sexual continence has entered the collective consciousness in one way or another. And so more people understand this, but less people are doing it, and even more people are not interested in doing that kind of stuff. I was in Eastern Europe and I asked about What do you think about sexual continence for a period of time in order to have some sort of connection with your inner self and as a result, your purpose in life? They laughed at me saying, like, what are you talking about? That's some American codswallop. And I'm like, what do you mean that's American codswallop? You guys are under the thumb mostly of under corrupt governments whose only interest is to accumulate money in order to consume. They're not interested in doing anything creative. They're not interested in liberating you guys, introducing social programs that will allow for free housing or affordable housing for kids that come out of colleges in these various Eastern European countries, or a fund to give kids that are interested in college so they could bring intellectual talent, or they could retain intellectual talent in their various countries. They're not interested in that. They're interested in the manipulation of society and the utilization of European Union funds to buy themselves G-Wagons and Maseratis in Romania. They're not interested in liberating the people at all. It's crazy. Imagine believing that you're special, a special individual, because these guys have a lot of God complexes as well. Imagine believing to yourself that you are special, you're important, and you're meant for bigger things. And the only thing that you do, you're not trying to become strong or become a member of parliament in the respective Eastern European countries, or Latin American countries for that matter, or any country for that matter. You're not interested in becoming a member of parliament to try to create edicts for the people for self-liberation. You're interested in trying to utilize law and codes in order to consume. You're not creating at all. And this is heathen thinking. That's only heathen. Seriously. And if you guys think that I'm just being offensive or aggressive to that type of behavior, then you guys are not even seeing the bigger picture. Imagine you have a leader that presides over you and the looks all important, he or she looks all important on the camera, and they're telling you all this kind of stuff, and then you see their behavior on the other side, right? Where it's just about consumption, eating lavish dinners. They don't work out. They don't go to the gym. That means there's not a proper flow of endorphins. They seek their dopamine through subjugation of you guys and buying Louis Vuitton and Hermes just to appear good. That's all heathen behavior. All of it is heathen behavior. We have, in my building, we have a lot of people that are on that heathen type of timing as well. Interested in excessive sex, which is weakening of the organism. And by the way, attraction of very, very negative experiences. We know this due to whenever we relapse on semen retention, which, by the way, I haven't in a very long time, because it's just, you get to a point where you master the semen retention, and it's not to the point where you're arguing with yourself about whether you should relapse or not, or look at adult film content or not. It's when you're just flowing with life and you hold this energy within you and you just keep going and you do your thing. That's true mastery of semen retention. But people are not at that level yet, and I don't think a lot of people will get to that point. This is what I talk about when I describe the heathen class. We have people that are interested in manipulation. They're interested in accumulating goods at the expense of their financial well-being and credit scores, just to look good for other people. This is what it's about. This is what they worship. This is what these people like. I notice these behaviors in people where they don't take care of themselves, right, inside. They're the most beautiful people outside. They try to attract people to you. And remember, how people connect with the whole idea, or how they display their beauty, all varies, right, from person to person. We have most people of the proletariat class that decide to buy a lot of wealth, things that they can't afford, in order to have like this sort of broadcast and outward show of wealth that tries to signal to other people that they're important to some degree, instead of being a creator. This is what I don't understand. This is what these people are, right? Then we have other people that have like this sort of, this look to them. They're like svelte, elegant, but they still have these mindsets of being consumers. They know the costs of all these expensive things. I remember I was at the restaurant yesterday. We had these women like, oh, this guy bought, I overheard, because you hear everything, because you're working, you're in a small restaurant, and I'm a server, bartender, so you hear a lot of conversation. And so we had this table, I think there was mujeres from the Paruski land, and then we had one from Palestine. And then they were like, oh, this guy bought this. It's like, oh, how much is that? I don't think it's very expensive. You can get it on sale because it was on sale for this time frame. And I'm like, why are we so caught up in that? Like, why is that even important? If anything, isn't it much more fortuitous to get something that's high quality on sale anyway, because you have more money left over to do other things with? This is what's going on in the world right now. We have a very, very huge scourge of heathenism. And I'm gonna keep bringing this up. I'm gonna keep, in most of my succeeding videos, I'm going to keep talking about this heathen thing, because I think that a lot of us are not paying attention to this type of stuff, and a lot of us are sweeping this under the rug. You need to seek to be a creator first. Being a creator means that you're not gonna be most likely accepted by the public until you've made some name of yourself due to your unique acts. And then after that, you'll have people that slowly trickle in. Not because of what your creativity means in the long run in an objective sense, but rather that it displays physical reward in the material world, which most people have not evolved or transcended past, and will not transcend or evolve past. Most people, you need to accept, they are heathen. They will never surpass anything that can be surpassed that in the physical realm. They are heathen now and forevermore. Seriously. Do with that information as you will. And with that being said, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't ever let this place get you down. We are in the midst. I'm gonna talk, this last message is for the lads, right, that are on semen retention, that are very, very interested in self-evolution and transcendence. The moment, remember, semen retention is one of the most powerful practices that you can do in this modern day and age, because instead of having energy leakages due to physical labor, mental reverie, daydreaming, all that stuff that requires utilization of the nerve energy, the more you practice semen retention, the less there's a leakage of this force, and so you are retaining all of that energy for your own use. And so you're gonna be tapping into ideas, concepts, and things and worlds that you have never thought of or fathomed before, because you were leaking that energy. And it will give you this inclination to be creative, to create ideas, to come up with ideas and these concepts and these weird things and languages. It is very, very important for you to follow these feelings. And when you do that, it will put you at odds with the world, especially the collective consciousness, which is what the world operates on. Because the collective consciousness, remember, it's an amalgam. See it as like a mean, like in mathematics, an average amalgam of the thoughts, the inner desires of individuals, which are material and not past the sacral chakra, because they are heathen. And you will always be at odds with these guys. It is as simple as that. Anyone who is still thinking about race and how that there's a supremacy thereof, or anyone that's thinking about all these little silly concepts of reproduction is a license for for licentiousness and sexual liberation. Anyone who has these thoughts are part of the heathen class, and you need to separate yourselves as accordingly. This is what I'm saying. I love you all. Stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Woo!